Oh,
Hey,
nice.
man.
Yeah, what's up?
How's it
What you
going,
got, Mike?
Shawn?
Good. How are you?
Oh, man, I am doing very well. Thank you. I hope you are the same. Well, you should be relaxed, but I know you're not. You had a vacation just recently,
Yeah,
but
I did. I did.
yeah, we were just talking. I know things are crazy in the lead up to a big show like New York Comic Con.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. I gotta say that was great to see that Clayface piece I did on the on the promo there. That was a fun one.
Yeah, every time I do a search on Calf, like that image always comes up, and it is like the colors are perfect. He's gruesome, and I thought about putting you on a New York, city street, and then I'm like, nah, this might be more
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, I like it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, I should have showed you that before we got started today, but yeah, well, it's good to have you back on the show. The last time we did this, we were promoting your Kickstarter,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that was
yeah.
pretty cool. I think you sold a few painted sketch cards. I got one.
Yes. Yeah, I sold out of them. Like I got the bulk of them from the show, and within the next day, I think they were gone.
Sweet. Well,
So
that's
that was great.
exactly. And we're going to be doing a lot of stuff today. I think we have
Yes,
a whole list of things to cover,
I
but
do. I do.
we should let everybody know that we will be doing a giveaway. You can see right down
Yes.
there underneath my image, we have hashtag Inkpulp. You enter that into the chat and hit enter, just hashtag Inkpulp, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. And what will they win in this giveaway,
So
Shawn?
this is what you guys would win. So I did one of the tour posters for Wu-Tang Clan's final tour, and the first design I did was this, which was an homage to Hulk Special #1 by Jim Steranko. I even put like a little, after Steranko at the bottom, and it got all approved, and I did it all. And last minute, RZA decided he wanted to go in a different direction, like within like days of the show. So I did a second poster, and I was surprised by that because my whole angle was Wu-Tang is known. Some of the members are known for their like real love of collecting comics. And I haven't seen anyone really like lean into that. You see a lot of the kung fu stuff and the hip hop stuff, but I was like, what if we took the kung fu stuff and leaned into like a classic comic cover? So that's why I chose that. But so when they wanted something else, I was bummed because I was so happy with that. And I'll show you the original piece of art I did for it is huge.
Oh man, you almost did it. The exact size it was going to be printed in.
Well, they were going to print it bigger. So when they rejected it, I was like, I'm just going to print these like bootleg style on my own. So I got a really good screen printer who does some screen prints of their own, and they work with other comic artists. And I printed it close to the size I drew it. But the posters, which I have the what's left of the Wu-Tang actual posters are even bigger. But I love screen printing, and the ink feels so good on that paper. So yeah, we'll give one of those away.
Fantastic. Now, I mean, if somebody was going to New York Comic Con, could you bring it there, or is it too big to travel with something like that? Or do you have
No,
those?
I'm gonna have those. I'm gonna have a select amount of those at New York Comic Con. So if whoever wins it wants to pick it up there, that's not a problem at all.
Okay, sweet. Then that works out all the better.
Yeah.
When do you get into New York?
Wednesday. It's gonna be. We're gonna hit the ground running. I'm gonna land, I think, at 10 a.m. So I'll be up at like 4 a.m. Jim and I meet at the airport, and then we catch an Uber together into the city. Of course, your hotels won't let you check in yet. So we're going to drop our bags, and then we're going to go set up. I mean, Jason does the bulk of the setup, but I have all of my books now that I just got from the Kickstarter. So I am going to, I shipped a bunch of my books and Matteo's book, which we'll talk about today too. So I got to pick those up, get those down to the show, and then after that, eat, check in, and Jim and I have to be at Sirius Radio at 4 p.m. There's on Shade 45 M&M station. There's a hip hop DJ who's a collector that we know. He's awesome, and we did his show last year with Sanford. We're going to do it again this year, and it just goes from there. Every day is packed.
Nothing wrong with that. See, it's just too much. Yeah,
It's a lot. It's a lot, but
well,
it's awesome. It's like It's so exciting, but I Sunday, I am just a shell of a person. It doesn't stop there for us 'cause, we're gonna be doing an Inkpulp tour after OAX next year. Like, we're gonna launch right after OAX at a Orlando, close to Orlando shop, Blackbird Comics, and, we're gonna end the tour at Midtown Comics. So we have a meeting with them on Monday after the con, and finally, I think Jim and I, Tuesday will be just like a day to hang and take it easy and get together with some artists and back Wednesday and into the grind.
Yeah, so you're jumping around on our list of topics here today.
No, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'll follow your lead. I need
No, I'm not,
to
I didn't bring anything to make notes here, but no, but that's cool. I mean, we're gonna have a guest appearance, I think, in a little bit from one of those Inkpulp members who's going to be doing the tour with you. So that's obviously going to be a lot of fun. But so why don't you let it? I mean, well, I did see a question in here. Where was that? I saw EC Harris wanted to know how much of those prints are going to be.
Okay, so those screen prints are 50. They're signed $50. They're 16 by 20. On I mean, they're just I just want a screen print from now on. Like as you know, and I'm hoping a lot of the CAF people know, I'm all about craft, and the more and more digital stuff comes in, I tend to go the other way. So I was like, I want to get into screen printing. That's more of a hand done, like crafty print way to go. So those I'm gonna bring, I believe, 20 of those at 50 each.
Well, that's not bad. So anybody who wants to pick one of those up, you only have 20, so they got to get over there and
yeah. Everything I'm gonna have at New York Comic Con is pretty exclusive and or limited.
Well, you
I'm
know,
bringing a lot.
I made slides of stuff that you were bringing, so we might as well just show those, right?
Yeah.
Here's
There we go.
We've even got that here. Let me take that giveaway thing off there. There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm stepping finally with my love of craft. I'm stepping into apparel, what I call craft apparel, and I made these Inkpulp Mad Villain Doom hoodies. I'm just gonna have 15 of those. I can show one on screen when we're back of what those look like. I'm really proud of those. But the exclusive New York ones are gonna have where the lace on the hood, they're gonna take that out and they're gonna put in like a metallic silver lace, like the logo on the sleeve, and they're gonna print the Keep Craft Alive logo on the lace. So I'm only gonna have 15 of those. I think those are gonna go pretty quick.
So
and then
go ahead. With the clothing line, then like you're doing them like a specific version for New York Comic Con, and is that kind of the idea that each show you do something custom for each one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to do like limited merch drops throughout the year, starting next year. So this is kind of my testing to see like, I've always wanted to do some cool clothing, and this is kind of my test into that, like put my art on some clothes and make it crafty and high end and see how it does. And if it does well, I'll keep going with it. I'm guessing it will. I'm hoping it will because I really enjoy offering stuff like that.
Cool. Well, it's not something we see creators doing too often, right? But no, I think that's great. I mean, other than it's the indie guys who can do cool stuff like that, right? David Peterson. I'm actually wearing a Mouse Guard shirt right now.
Oh,
right?
nice.
So it's like
Yeah.
not too often where an artist can go ahead and use use imagery and make make T-shirts or hats or anything like that out of it. So no, I think this is awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm stoked. And these are the actual Wu-Tang posters. These are 18 by 24. There's two versions. These are totally sold out. They were sold out at the show that happened in Newark back in July. And then Collections, who's the company behind this, sold out on their website. So I have all of the remaining prints. These are both screen prints. The one on the left is a glow in the dark screen print. So the W on the hands and on the chest and the eyes and the fingertips and the belt all glow in the dark. And then the one on the right is a rainbow foil version. So that one doesn't glow in the dark, but the rainbow foil is really cool. and I'm only bringing 5 of each of these, I think. I mean, the rainbow foil I only have 5 left. I have more of the glow in the dark, but if I can pack 1 or 2 more, I will. But I'm only going to have a very limited amount of these, and these are huge and just beautiful, large screen prints.
So do you bring like an oversized portfolio for this stuff, or do you have
I'm gonna actually
tape?
put these in tubes and bring the
Oh,
tubes, so whoever buys them, I can just grab it and give it to them. So, I mean, I figure at this size, it would really suck to like get this really high-end, nice print and have to like walk around protecting it. So I was like, I'll put them in individual tubes and bring them that way. And that's why I can't bring a ton of them.
yeah, that makes sense. And what was the one other slide? There you go.
Yeah, so also all of my books and my new print set came in. So I'll have all of those. And what's going to be exclusive to New York Comic Con is I'll be offering the Inkpulp Cyan, the hardcover art book with a sketch in it, just a quick brush sketch. So I'm gonna have like you can buy the whole set with the sketch or just the hardcover with the sketch, and that's only for New York.
And the Kickstarter is all in hand now, right?
Yeah, I just got them in. I just posted a couple days ago my daughter in front of 3 pallets of books,
I saw that.
which was crazy. That was pretty awesome to see, but also like gulp. This is a lot, but it's
Do you
great.
have a staff that is going to help you pack all those?
I have a small staff, i.e., my children who are older. My daughter spends every Sunday with me. I pay her on Sundays to be my assistant, and it's my way of like helping to train her because this is exactly what she wants to be doing, getting into comics and comic art and all that stuff. So, yeah, they're going to be handling fulfillment. And in fact, today, speaking of fulfillment, the sketch cards that I got when I sat down to start in them, and I was just feeling really stale with my painting, and I got on the phone with Chris Stevens because we talk art sometimes, and I wanted to because he's using different paints than me, and I wanted to talk to him about what he's using, why he's using them, and so he walked me through his whole process and that charged me up, and I was like, you know what, screw these sketch cards, I'm going to do them with this new painting process, which you'll see today on screen because I'm doing it now. So that was really really refreshing and gave me a whole new level of like learning and excitement to get into. So once I get back from New York, I'm just buckling down on those and buckling down on fulfillment and getting everything out.
And yeah, then so you haven't started mine yet. I know I asked for a Thor, so we'll.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Should I be changing that? Is there something you have a better, you have a better
No,
feel
dude, that's up to you. I mean, I'm happy to do a Bushima Thor. That's right up my alley. And I'm gonna have fun with that. I can see what I'm gonna do.
Okay, then I'm not going to change it. I mean, I just figured since I had the opportunity to ask if there was something else, but
No, I mean
no,
you chose wisely. I'm a fan of anything old school Kirby in comics, and I don't think you get better than that. Like, I mean, I love a lot of things, but anyone who chooses like old school Kirby, I'm never gonna be like, no, let's do something else, because I love that stuff.
Yeah, no, me too. I wonder what guys like Steranko think when they see, the number of homages of his work. I mean, he's, have you ever asked him? I mean, he's somebody I haven't talked to.
I haven't spoken to him much. I mean, I've said hi to him and I've been in an elevator with him. I'm the weirdo who like still thinks of myself as like below like these legends. Like, so like when I first joined Essential Sequential and like Klaus had joined up, I was so nervous and intimidated. And he walked up one day when we were all setting up and he said hi to Eric and he said hi to Matteo. And I was like, he has no idea who I am. And he said hi to me and we chatted and he walked away. And I was like, oh my God. And I was just scared to talk to him. So after a few times, I'm like, now I'm good friends with Klaus. I visit him when I'm in New York. But yeah, I'm just like, if anyone like I grew up like worshiping, admiring gets near me, I clam up.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, honestly, I had the same interaction with Klaus the first time I got to talk to him. I think it was the year before the pandemic, and it was the first time I saw him. Essential was at Heroes, and saw him there. And I mean, I stammered my way through just saying thank you for for everything you've done. You don't
Yeah.
know it, you don't know me,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I didn't ask him to sign anything. He's probably like, when's this loser going to hand me something to sign? Right? I just walked up to him and say that and turned and walked away practically.
He's the
But
nicest guy. And I can trace my wanting to do comics back to one specific book, which was Dark Knight Returns, which he had a big hand in. So
yeah.
for me, it was like, here's one of the guys that, like, you're kind of the reason I'm here. So when he did the intro for my art book, Cyan, I was just blown away. Like, I can't believe this is happening. But he's so nice.
Yeah, he definitely is. It was great having him at OAX last year too.
Yeah, for sure. But let me show you. Let me grab that hoodie. I want to show everyone that.
Yeah, let's go full screen here. That's awesome.
Cool, yeah, that cool Doom design. Got my metallic silver logo on the sleeve here. And then, like I said, at New York Comic Con, the company is replacing these with like fat laces. They're silver, and they'll have the Keep Craft Alive logo on them. So I'm very excited to see that. And let me show you also the Wu-Tang actual posters, because these are huge.
Oh man, wow.
Yeah, that foil is top notch. So I'll have 5 of these at most, or definitely 5. And then the glow in the dark one, I'll have 5 of these, but if I can pack 1 or 2 more, I will. But these really come alive when they go in the dark. But these are 18 by 24 screen printed, beautiful things.
Yeah, that's awesome. Better than a Giclée, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And I have
yeah.
What's that?
At the end of the day, that's what I like to see. I mean, I love old rock and roll posters, that sort of thing, and all
Me
those
too.
are screen printed.
I love.
Yeah. But so many print shops don't do that anymore. Even T-shirt shops won't, screen print as often. Everything's got to be digital and transfers and it's not as fun as it was back in the late 70s and 80s.
I agree. And that's why I'm doing it more, is I really want to get back to it. And there's an art form to how you color for that process. Like digital coloring, you can do whatever you want and it'll print, but screen printing, you have to be aware of so many different things. Like the Wu-Tang Steranko homage I did, I just used 4 colors. I just went really traditional. I used cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And I got a green out of mixing the cyan and the yellow. I got a purple out of mixing the magenta and the cyan. And I got a little bit of a brown by mixing all 3. And then I used halftones. So I really liked that process and learning it. And that was just my first step into it. So I'm thinking of, my plan is to have an exclusive screen print for OAX as well, that I'll do for the con next year.
I like that idea. We're all about the exclusives for the show, whether it's bringing new artwork for sale that hasn't been on a website or offered publicly or something like that. I mean, that's perfect. Leave a little spot for a tiny remark or something. And then
I will. Yeah, I definitely will. I'm getting, like, I'm starting to plan out the stuff I want to do for that. And this New York Comic Con is like my first attempt to do exclusives. And I'm excited about it. And I'm really limiting the shows I'm going to do next year, because I want to spend more time planning exclusive things to have at the shows. So I was talking to Jim this morning. I think there's a pretty good chance I'm only doing 2 shows in the States next year, which will be OAX and New York. I'll probably do Dragon Con. Also just because that, like I said, like, that's a good show. It's local. They always take great care of me, and my daughter my daughter sets up there. And like last year, she had such an incredible show. I want to keep that going.
Well, I mean, if she's set up, you got to do it then, right? I mean, Well, did they
I'll
table
do
you
it.
guys close to one another?
She shared last year. I'm sorry, my son keeps calling.
Oh,
She
okay.
tabled last year at my
Oh,
table. So next year I'm gonna ask if they can. She's gonna apply and see if she can get her own table. But if not, she'll share my table again. But she killed it. It was pretty wild.
that's awesome. Hey, I want to remind everybody who came in after we started, there is a giveaway that we have today. You just have to put hashtag Inkpulp into the chat to be entered into the giveaway. Only half of the people who are watching right now are entered. So I know some of you did not know, even though that we have it on the screen. It's a simple thing to do. And we're giving away that Wu-Tang Rejected poster, the 18 by 24 Steranko Hulk homage that is awesome. That artwork's pretty awesome too. You should bring that to, has that gone to any shows? I mean, have you showed it off to anybody?
No, and I'm not gonna bring it to New York. I was thinking when I did it, it was like it's my favorite piece of art I've ever made because I have such a love for the Wu-Tang, and I was really happy with it, how it came out. I think it's the best inking I've ever done. And I was like, I've never wanted to hold on to a piece of art until I did that, and the size of it. But then when they rejected, I was like, damn. I don't know, but the only show I would bring it to is OAX, so that's going to stay here. The art for the one they did use, which I like, just that other one just hit on. It was so cool to have like an homage to comics and Wu-Tang all together. But the one that they did use, I'll have the art for that at New York Comic Con, and I can show that later when we show all the artwork and stuff.
Awesome. Let's see. You know what? I don't want to forget because I know it's probably one of the important parts of the show. You are doing a sale through Essential Sequential with Jason.
Yes,
on the website.
yes, yeah. Just for the stream, where it's up now. The code you can use is Inkpulp20. You get 20% off. In fact, let me grab that art. I was going to show.
Yeah, and I've got. I can throw the link in the chat to your artwork over there, so everybody can go take a look. Here we go.
So yeah, I have I'll show some of the good things I have up on there. I mean, the last of my snap cards I have all 20% off. So here's that gladiator I did, one of my favorites, the Mojo.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then I have this Sue Richards black and white and Reed black and white. I always hoped these would go to like one person. It would be so cool to have them together. And then one of my favorite paintings, I have some painted cards too. This Meek from Planet Hulk I did. And then also one of my favorite paintings is this Rocket.
Yeah, for anybody who went over to the Essential website, if you set it to, what is it, art type, trading card art, you can see those pieces that Shawn was just showing off.
Totally. And then I have a couple of covers up still. This King Spawn cover, which comes out next month, is up for sale right now, 20% off. And I have my Absolute Batman cover for number 10 that came out last month, I believe it was. So those are all 20% off here and now. They will not be 20% off at New York Comic Con. So if they don't sell today, I'll bring them there. But also I'm going to have, I have one copy each of the Absolute covers I did. These were really rare. They were 1 in 50, I think they were. And I'm just going to bring these to New York. And I'll sign them, but I'm going to bring those too. But yeah, the 20% off all my art. So it's not just the pieces I showed, but all my art is 20% off. And then I want to show. So this is the art they actually used for the Wu-Tang. And my concept was mixing Iron Man with one of the deadly venoms from the 5 Deadly Venoms movie, but I made a new deadly venom, the Wasp, because that's Wu-Tang's thing, is the killer bees.
That came out really nice, man.
Thank you. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff here. Like I'm buried in my studio with all the stuff I'm showing.
So there are, I think there's like almost 300 pieces of art up on Essential Sequential that the discount applies to. So everybody knows that. But it's only it's not available when you go to New York Comic Con. Only now.
No, we're going to keep it up until tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So anyone who catches the stream live or later today or early tomorrow, you'll be able to use that code.
And the code's Inkpulp20, as you see it on the screen there. Awesome. Well, no, that's good. I mean, hopefully, some people will go by, and I'll make sure I get I don't think I put the link in the show description, so I'll make it easy for anybody who comes in after we're done here. I'll put it in the show description. You can just click that and head on over to check out the pieces offered.
Awesome.
So we might as well just announce your pre-OAX stuff as well. I know that you're gonna be working on a couple pieces live to give people an example of kind of what they look like and what the size.
So I'm gonna switch my camera real quick. So these are 2 pieces I'm doing for New York Comic Con, but I wanted to give the CAF community first dibs on them, and then so this is a Godzilla, and this is that new painting process I'm talking about. And I don't know if you guys see it. These aren't done yet. They're in process, but I am loving this, and I feel like they're coming out better than anything I've done before. So I've got this Doom that I'm working on, and this Godzilla, and these are 6 by 8 inches. And I'm opening up today with you all my OAX commissions. I'm opening up 5 slots for these size paintings. In this sort of technique, like just exactly what you're seeing. And also, if you got a sketch card from me from my Kickstarter, this is exactly the technique I'll be doing.
So how are you changing your technique from what you were doing before to what you have here today? I mean, how could Chris Stevens have influenced you in a way to transform the way you're painting today?
That's what I'm wondering if it's even visible, but it's a different process. So the way I was working before, and Chris and I there's a lot of similarities in our aesthetic. So we always chat about each other's work, but I would pencil out the piece, and then I would do my ink line, and then I would do my values, and then I would layer my washes on top, and then I would do my opaques at the end of light. So what Chris is doing, and what's new for me, is you can see here, there's no ink line down yet. So, and I'm using different paints. I was using golden fluid acrylics, and then I was using Holbein acrylic gouache at the end, which is an opaque gouache paint, but it's acrylic in body, so it dries waterproof. And what Chris is using are these golden flats, which are matte finish like gouache, but they're transparent and acrylic. So he's teaching me to layer very slowly, and like you can put a wash down, like I'll show you on this Doom. So you see here this like orangish area down in here, but this is what's under that orange, a thin wash of this violet. And so when I laid a thin layer of that orange down, it tinted that red violet a little towards orange. And the more you build, I'm going to try to see, you can see how I started to build with the paint a little thicker and thicker and thicker, and was able to get shapes out of it that really works. So this sort of transparency in this light blue, everything was like that. And as you build, you can really push colors in different directions. And like even here, like you can start to see in his eye, I just like this was all the same violet underwash and a little blue on top. And I'm starting to bring the flesh tones out very slowly right in that eye. I'm hoping that's visible on camera. But today I'm going to bring out more of that, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So it's this process of like layering and building and looking at the colors you're achieving by what Chris used a word called color depth. And when he said that, I didn't know what he meant. But as I was painting with it, I knew exactly what he meant. So like when you start to layer these washes on top of each other and you see through them, you start to see like a color emerge that you probably didn't intend or plan to go. And then you're like, oh, I like that direction. Let me lean into it a little more. and you get these colors that aren't in the paints that they make. Like, I think they make about 50 colors, but when you start layering the washes and you get this color depth, you start achieving colors that they don't make, and it just adds this depth of seeing through all these layers of colors. And I'm really excited at the end when I put my varnish on top, because that always makes the colors pop even more. But these are great, these so flats. And the other thing is, the reason they're called so flat is when you do a wash, like when you do normal acrylics, you tend to see brush strokes everywhere.
Mhm.
This stuff is designed so that when you lay a wash down, it evens itself out really well. Like, this orange is so flat. It's great. And then you can create shapes when you want them, which I like. So it's just exciting.
Wow. I think you actually sent me a process, a couple images from this right there. Where you
Yeah,
have
I did. I
the,
did. Yeah,
the
yeah, there it is. Yeah.
there we go. The
So I
line.
had my pencil drawing, yeah, and then yeah, exactly. So you can see like the blue, I'm starting to put in the lighter blues where you see the darker blues there. So I'm lighting up that area. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start bringing the yellow undertones into the lower part of Godzilla, which will be nice. But yeah, this is it's excited me to no end. And since I started learning tattooing, it kind of opened up that learning center of my brain. I mean, I'm always trying to learn and grow, but something about putting yourself in an area, well, like when you're used to like having some command of what you do, and then you put yourself into a medium, you have zero command of what you're doing. It kind of opens up that learning center of your brain that reminded me of when I was really trying to get into comics at first, and I had so much to learn, and I was just a sponge. And so it's making all of my art grow like it's like vitamins. Like, I'm growing exponentially every day because that's open. So starting to learn a new painting technique was kind of the prime time to do it.
You know, it's interesting that when I look at Chris Stevens' work, I've always felt that it's very structured. There aren't happy accidents because his colors
Yeah.
seem so rich and placed in a manner that that there couldn't be anything color wise that could be accidental because it's so it's so crisp, it's so refined. You know what I'm not putting the right word on there, but you know what I'm saying, because
I know exactly what you're saying. So intentional. Yeah.
it's so intentional. That's the what I'm looking for. That that you couldn't have something like a happenstance where you see something that's fun and interesting out of it. But from what you're saying, though, Chris kind of approaches his work, partially in that way. I mean, especially if he's using the same medium and
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But I think what happens is over time of using this technique, you start to like learn like, oh, if I put this color on top of this color, I'll achieve that color. But yeah, I agree with you, because I was a little surprised when Chris was saying, he'll let the painting inform him as he goes a little bit with the color. And I think that is pretty typical of painting. What I've always liked about painting is you just, when you start it, you, you very quickly learn like, oh, it's asking me to do something that I didn't intend to do. Let me follow that. And I think when you follow that, you'll is when you really like, that's when the painting comes together. So I think like trying to control it too much is like you start fighting with it.
Mm-hmm.
So like now I don't like, this is such a light layer yellow wash I'm putting on. You can barely see it, but as I build it, this whole area will look more and more yellow on the bottom. Because like now the orange is coming through it. I don't know if the camera's picking it. You guys can see it a little bit right
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah. We can see the yellow
Yeah.
highlight kind of making it.
Yeah.
You know,
So, but the orange is coming through it. It's really, really nice. And as these dry and they're really matte finish, they look great.
right, and then you varnish it and it pops all over again.
Yes. Yeah. That's when you really see like it brings that depth out even more. Like all those layers showing through each other really start to come out.
No, I mean, well, for me, I love hearing that because it's traditional painters, always they can't wait for putting that layer of varnish down. I mean, that means the painting's done, but it also means they get to see the colors really for for how you expect it to see, because a painting can look a little flat at times before the varnish goes down.
Very true.
Even when we look at a lot of the work in card art, right, for Magic the Gathering and stuff, all of those
Yep.
guys put a layer of varnish down once it's done, and it just transforms the painting. It's remarkable how much it changes the overall appearance of the colors once that's
It's wild. It really is wild. There are some Instagram accounts I follow of artists where they'll make a reel of applying the varnish, and you just see like what looks like kind of a flat, dull painting just come to life like magic. I love that stuff.
Same here. So I did throw the link in the chat for everyone who is interested in the pre-OAX opportunities. And I think when this piece is done and the Doom piece is done, I'll have slides with those images on there. I put a couple temporary images up there for now, just to give people an example who are going to the website. I know you had that one the one Mohawk Storm image I've always liked, so I just threw that up there as
that's cool.
Yeah, as an image for now. The dimensions aren't right. I think that one was like a 9x12 painting, but still, you know what you're going to get from Shawn with a piece like this. So it is single character, painted as he's showing you right now.
Did Khalil get that one?
Oh yeah, this is in Khalil's cap gallery.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. So these are the ones I'm working on today. If you're interested, I'm the big point in me like reaching out to Bill is I wanted to give the CAF community first dibs on getting these before I bring them to New York, because I do feel like these are going to go pretty quick.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So basically the Doom that we were showing and the Godzilla are available. They're Shawn's got to finish them up. They're both going to be $750, but if you want to get a pre-OAX commission, you can order them through the OAX art website and pick the character of your choice.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm so excited to be painting. So like those commissions are going to be a lot of fun, and those commissions will not be bogged down by being exhausted from a Kickstarter and New York Comic Con. So and I'll have more experience under my belt with this technique, so I think they'll look even better.
Yeah, Sam's got a question for you. He wants to know if you can buy that Cheech Wizard you did on a stream a couple weeks back.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the best way to contact you, Shawn?
Well, Sam, I know. Sam, you can email me if you want that Cheech Wizard, and I'll link you up with Jason on that one. I was bringing that to New York, so if you do want it, email me ASAP. But yeah, and also I want to mention one of the things I'm doing, which I'm excited about, is I had a few collectors ask about getting tattooed when I'm at OAX. So there's a great shop in Orlando called Ascension Tattoo Studio, run by an artist I'm friendly with who I love, Ann Iannucci, and he's going to let me guest there. So I have one appointment booked, and I might have two more, and I'm probably going to take on one or two more on top of those. So I'll come in a few days early. So if anyone wants to get tattooed there, feel free to reach out.
And best way to reach out to you would be on one of the socials, or would
email is probably best. Inkpulp@gmail.com would be the best way. Typically for tattooing, I would give you a link, but that's for my shop here, and since this is Orlando, I'll just say email me. But also, if you want it, if you're in the Atlanta area at some point, there's a few collectors coming through Atlanta at different points, and they like Aranga's coming up to get tattooed soon. And yeah, I've got a few people. It's kind of a neat thing to offer, like people who love original comic art, to get a tattoo from one of the artists who does comic art. So,
yeah,
I'm excited about that.
So do you have like a portfolio of tattoos that you've done?
Yeah, I have photographs. Yes. I guess I should have given you some of those. Yeah, what happened was I just started like opening my books and charging, like I want to say a month and a half ago, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be a slow build, but I started filling up fast, And in the middle of everything going on, I'm like, oh boy, this is going to need a lot more attention in terms of marketing and getting the word out there. So I'm trying to get that in as well. Once New York is over, I'll have a bit of my life back.
Well, you have my permission to wait until you're fully recovered from New York to starting on the Buscema Thor.
Oh yeah, that's my plan. I'm excited to get back from New York and just have sketch cards to paint, like to play with like this and recuperate and also I have some tattoos to do, but those are fun. And then after that, I'll start thinking about OAX and planning stuff for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm actually on that Ascension Tattoo website. They have some good artists there.
Yeah, they do. And Ant, whose shop it is a huge comic fan. So I want to talk to you about see if I can get him just a day pass to come look at the art at OAX. I think he'd flip his mind. And in fact, I saw Matt DiTullio here. Maddie, I'm going to talk to you and Simone in New York about the tattoos you guys were asking about.
Oh, they're going to get team tattoos, I guess.
Well, not the same ones, but I was with Maddie and Simone in Boston, and Simone DeMeo, who I didn't know he has a background in tattooing, so we were
I didn't
just
know that.
chatting about it. Yeah, and so we were chatting about it. He saw my daughter's arm and saw a skull I gave her, and was just like, "Dude, that's like your art. Like, it looks like you like a drawing of like it's my drawing language." And that so that made him like, "Well, dude, I want to get something."
Wow, they're right down the road from the hotel too. About not even 20 minutes
Oh,
away.
are they?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know. Like, I was gonna ask Aunt like how far, where should I stay? So yeah, I'll figure that out.
Huh. Interesting. So so you said you're coming in early to do that, or are you staying after the show for the
Well,
tattoo?
we're staying. I'm gonna come in early for the tattoos, and we're gonna stay later than the show to do the start the Inkpulp tour and do the signing at Blackbird.
You know,
So we're gonna.
I've been here over 3 years now, and I have not made it to Blackbird Comics yet. I'm a loser. I hear their
Well,
coffee's pretty good too.
I know. I looked at their website. I was really blown away. They won an Eisner. It was a member of the Inkpulp community was like, we were on our show saying we should get some retailers on here to talk to, and he recommended them. And when I looked at their site, I was like, this place is great. And then we chatted with them, and they were super awesome people. And I love what their store looks really, really well put together, really progressive minded in terms of the business. So I definitely want to talk to them. When we're there, we're going to record a podcast with them as well.
Well, that's great. I got to get over there. But they've hosted, some pretty cool, artists that have like done signings and stuff there. I think Matt Allison. I don't know if he did it
Oh,
Zero.
awesome.
He's been there at least once or twice,
Oh,
and
that's
some
great.
local artists too. So no, there's a lot of comic shops in the Orlando area, but that one's the one that I think, gets the best kind of vibe. I mean, I don't know. We're very fortunate here. You're coming from Cleveland, where I think I had 2 comic shops, and they weren't that great. I come down here, and just in Orlando by itself, there's 6 fantastic shops, and Tampa's got great stores too. But again, Blackbird is like the one that everybody talks about, and I haven't made it to yet. So maybe
What?
I'll get the
Well, go
dates
ahead.
when you're going to be there. I'd love to swing by.
Oh, that would be awesome. That'd be great. What shops in Orlando do you tend to frequent?
I've been to Coliseum a couple times, and I'm drawing a blank. Casper recommended one that was kind of on the way it's between us, but closer to him. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I mean, he's not. I know he's not in the chat today because he's working, but I'll try to remember what it is. But it's like one of the biggest comic shops I've ever been in. Literally, like it was in an old drugstore size space,
Oh
and
wow.
half of it was toys. Not even I wouldn't even say half the toys, but it was but it was all so well organized. Like you'd walk down an aisle of like Simpsons paraphernalia on both sides, but then on the far end of this thing, it was all trade. So it was comics in the front,
Oh,
toys
wow.
and movie memorabilia in the middle, and then the far end was all trades, and they just had, I mean, they had a giant Silver Surfer statue from that early movie was, you know, sitting on top of the racks in the front. I mean,
Oh,
it was
that's
one hell of
awesome.
a store, and I'm disappointed I can't think of the name of it right now. I'll find it and figure it out. But hey, I did see our guest has dropped in here.
All
So
right.
oh, here, let me bring him in, and then we'll get him on
Awesome.
camera here. Let's see, swing
Awesome.
that out there. Mr. Mahfood
Ah,
is back.
Jimmy.
What's up, guys? What is
Hey,
up?
What's up,
Jim.
Jim?
I don't
Man,
want
it's
to
good to have you
interrupt.
back.
I don't want to interrupt this beautiful painting session, man. You guys, you're
No, go for
you're
it.
making it work, dude. I love it. It looks
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, Jim has seen me. I started this painting technique on a live show when I had no idea what I was doing. The Art Adams episode was like my first time ever trying it. And it was like, I was like, why am I doing this in front of Art Adams for the first time? But it came out fine. But so Jim's seen the journey, but it's getting better, right, Jim?
Yeah, yeah. That's always we've had some big name people on Inkpulp Live, and that's always a surreal thing. Is like drawing live on camera, entertaining people, answering questions, and trying to display your skills with one of the like masters of the
No.
craft. It's like, oh, there's a lot. You can't let it overwhelm you. You just kind of have to do the show and see what happens. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
near Gumby, like that painting technique came out awesome. And then this one you did last Wednesday when I launched my Kickstarter. So if people go back to Inkpulp Live, it's the one we just did Wednesday, October 1st, the Arachnid Enforcer show. Shawn's working on this crazy painting, and
And the
we show
Doom
off all
one.
the and the Doom,
one?
and which is
Yeah,
dude, that's crazy.
That's awesome, man.
coming along.
So awesome. John Beatty in the chat.
Yes, he is.
Oh, what's up, John?
Yeah, it was Acme Comics. I saw EC and John both said it was Acme. It's hard to not know the place with the giant, you know, with the Silver Surfer statue that you get to see when you walk right in the door. But
Yeah, I'd
it's an
imagine.
amazing shop. I mean, anybody who's in that area, it's north of downtown. I think closer to like it's just west of Sanford, but you know, it's probably in a weird way, probably pretty close to Blackbird. But it's a great job. One of the best I've ever been in.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So we have a couple days, Shawn, after OAX to be in Orlando, right? And see, the plan is to see these stores and do a signing, and then I told Bill on Thursday when I was on CAF that like we're doing like an old punk rock band, get in the van
Totally
tour of comic shops on the East Coast, and hopefully we don't all kill each other. I don't think it'll come to that.
No,
we should do a GoFundMe for like a wrap for that van, so we can make it look like it's, you know, a 70s.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am gonna print out magnets, like car magnets with the Inkpulp logo on them that we can put on whatever car we're renting.
Oh, okay.
That is gonna happen. We're definitely doing that. That'll be fun.
That'd be hilarious though, to have a contest to have someone during the OAX weekend paint the wizard on the van in the parking lot of the hotel.
That'd be awesome.
Like an aspiring artist who has, you know, airbrush skills or something. Like
we
really
exactly
specific 70s, early 80s aesthetic of wizards, possibly an evil unicorn, whatever you can do with an Inkpulp logo on the van.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I see Sheldon was asking about a link to your Kickstarter, Jim. So I've just put that in the chat.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully people aren't sick of me talking about it. It's like, yeah, we know you have a Kickstarter. We get it. Like,
no, you got it.
You've got the hottest Kickstarter ever right now, Jim.
Thanks, buddy. Shawn just passed 60,000 today.
Oh, dude, that's amazing.
So, but yeah, I mean, when the month you're doing your Kickstarter, you do sort of have to turn into an annoying hustler and ask for every favor of every friend and every blog and YouTube show. And retweets and reshares. And yesterday I was contacting Peach Momoko's husband. I was like, buddy, can I get like a little plug for the Kickstarter? He's like, yeah, of course, I got you. But you're like hitting up people in other countries, annoying them with, but I think when people see that you're doing your own book, like they know what that means. And no artist or no person has ever said no to me. Like people get it. So.
Right. Well, everybody needs a favor every now and again. So, I mean, it's, it is what it is. You guys will help out a creator in need too when they've got a Kickstarter going on.
We always do. Yeah. We
Right.
always do.
And you have, isn't there a launch coming up that we were going to talk about as well?
Oh, yeah. So we have Jim's Kickstarter going on right now, but we also have the pre-launch for Matteo's Kickstarter. Let me show you guys. If you're at New York Comic-Con,
incredible.
Yeah,
this is crazy stuff.
Let me get the camera real quick. So we have these. We printed up. Matteo's printing the Fourth Father through Inkpulp. So these books, these are freebies we're going to have at New York Comic-Con, and anyone who got a physical copy in my Kickstarter is going to get one of these too for free. But this is issue 0 of Matteo's creator-owned book. So the purpose of this is to let you all know there's a Kickstarter pre-launch page, and that's what this is for. So if we can get people to just click notify me, it's not going to go live till next year. And that's kind of also the point of the tour is Matteo's going to launch his Kickstarter around that time. So stop by Matteo's table. Him and I are at D24, D25, and we'll have free copies of this. And if you got my Kickstarter, you'll also be getting a copy of this. And please just hit the notify me now button. And the Kickstarter Matteo set up looks great.
Yeah, the book itself is just unbelievable. Like it's so good. He's just writing and drawing his own stuff now, taking complete control. We all knew he can do anything he wants at this point. Matteo's a genius. So when he started sending in pages for us to look at, it was like,
yeah, mind blowing.
Damn, dude. Okay. It's a good thing we're friends, or else we would have to like destroy him or something.
right, totally.
You would you create extra social accounts just to give him a hard time. But he's one of the guys that when we're doing picks on the CAF update, that his work gets chosen a lot. I mean, my buddy Chris, he loves Matteo's work a lot. But the thing is, if Chris didn't pick half the pieces, I'd pick them too, because when you're scanning through like 1,500 pieces that got added to CAF during the week, Matteo's work. The funny thing is we're looking at him as thumbnails. His work looks great, at that level, and that's what usually gets us to go look at the detail pieces. Does it look great as a thumbnail? Cool. Now I want to see what the thing really looks like. And his stuff is just his composition, his use of tone, his lighting. It just everything pops. And so we end up. It's an unfair advantage that he has. I'm not saying like he still only gets selected like 2% of the time. But if we had to pick artists, I mean, he's up there. But I'm looking forward to this too. I've got myself set up to be announced when it comes out. And so it's going to start after the first of the year.
Yeah, it's going to start after OAX.
Oh, after OAX.
The tour we're doing is kind of like right before it launches. So that's like the final push to get the pre-launch out there, and then he'll launch.
Yeah, it's interesting, Bill, because like what you were saying with the thumbnail stuff, like as an artist now, you always have to consider, does this image I made translate to the size of people's phone screens on like Instagram? You know what I mean? So it's odd that most people are looking at our work at the size of like a postage stamp. So even if people can't afford to buy original art from me at conventions, I always encourage people to look through my binders, because like this is the original. This is the 11x17. You can see the actual work. It's such a huge, stark difference than looking at the thing on your phone that's that big. Like it's crazy but that's just the world we live in. That's how we're seeing things and consuming things. But when I do a cover now, or a cover design or something, I'll sometimes shoot it over to my phone and see if it works at that size on my phone. Because if it's too confusing, it doesn't work at that size. It's like, well, no, that then simplify, you know. But that's a new thing, man, because Shawn and I have been in this long enough that there was no Instagram at a time. Like you just made stuff and put it out there. You know, you went to a convention and people didn't really know what to expect other than going to your table, seeing your hand printed zines or mini comics, and then we would do commissions on backing boards for like $20. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was like a long time ago, but it's funny to think that it
That's
started.
when I first met you, Jim. You know, back in the day. I don't even know what show it was at, but I'm sure you were working on backing boards and whatever. But I mean, it was over 20 years ago. But it's true, man. I mean, when CAF started, there wasn't even Facebook, so Instagram, not even a thought. So it's you know, we've come a long way in that time. But I think, you know, it's cool that you bring originals for sale to shows when, you know, like you're going to a show that primarily your buyer is going to be people who are picking up the books, right? And want to get something signed, but you got the art there. At least you can show it to them, encourage, you know, even if they aren't going to buy it, at least to make them aware that it's available, you know, that it's an opportunity, not just to have you know, have them pick up a book from you, but they can buy some art at the same time. I mean, because that's you know, the thing that we're always trying to struggle with is how do we grow the base, right? How do we get more people interested in buying comic book art? And it really does start. You guys are like the front line of that. At the end of the day, you're the boots on the ground. Whereas you know, CAF and the things, a lot of stuff we do outside of OAX is all virtual and everything. So when you can show people what it looks like and they can look at it and hold it and then potentially buy it, I mean, I think that's awesome, man.
It creates a dialogue if people are just want to know how art is done or want to know what like techniques or craft you're employing with your work. It creates a connection with people where it's like, yeah, we're talking about some art. We're talking about some cool stuff here. Like this isn't everyday chatter, and this isn't like a DM you can answer because sometimes we don't have time to do all that. This is actually, you can get into kind of a real conversation with someone about the art of comics, the art of making what we do. And I always find that to be interesting, especially if there's times where people walk into a convention, you can tell they've never been to a comic book show before. So even the idea of them looking at original art is like, this you draw this on paper? Like, you know, some people think that this is just all magically made now on the computer. So the fact that we'll show up and have binders full of this crazy original art, it's kind of cool. Every show, people will still comment on Zipatone, on shading film in my originals, because they're like, are you making these dots by hand? What is this? It's like, no, this is an old technique. This is an old thing. And then you get to explain to them like shading film and Japanese manga and like this was being used in Mad Magazine like 50 years ago or advertising art or whatever. So you can kind of, without being arrogant about it, you can kind of give people the history of some of this stuff, you know?
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
It's cool.
Yeah, Sam just hung up a Scooby-Doo that he got from you at Eddie Pecan.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Oh, nice. Yeah, you got one of the ballpoint. I'm trying to think what else was on that piece. It was a weird. Well, that describes all my stuff. It was a strange drawing. Some strange, and then there was a hot girl in there somewhere.
So unlike you, Jim.
Yeah. So
do you do a lot of pre-done stuff like that piece you're talking about, or is that something you did at the show?
That was stuff I brought to the Ed Piscor Con of just I had a binder of smaller 8x11 ballpoint stuff, and then I had my 11x17 binder of originals. And then also, man, I learned last year when I was doing Savage Street Vigilante, I was bringing all the originals for the book, and I'm not selling them yet, but just to show people the book, to show people the originals. So at Heroes Con in 2024, that got everybody excited. In New York last year, I had the Street Vigilante originals and also the campaign going at the same time. And I was like, hey, if you want to see some crazy stuff, I have this campaign. Here's the first 24 pages of originals. And it immediately kind of gets people hooked in where they're looking at the art and they're like, wow, dude, what? Okay, this is a special book. This is something different. And that, hopefully gets them to click on that QR code and support the Kickstarter later that weekend. So yeah, man, having the originals, I just think it's a big deal to just, display that at the table and get people's reaction. It's just fun.
No, I agree. So, Shawn, when you were at Dragon Con, did you take a lot of originals with you, or did you take more prints and comics?
No, I always have originals. Jason, Essential was set up there. Like sometimes they're not. It just depends on how many of the crew wants to go. If Jason's gonna like send people to set up. Last year we were set up, but I always have originals with me. I mean, that's such a big part of like me is making original art. So I do always have prints, but my focus is always making sure I've got something cool for people to look at. Like when people see a painting and they walk by your table and they're like, wait, you painted this? Like this isn't a print? And they're just kind of like they're blown away by seeing like what, like Jim said, like just these originals. And they're like, wait, this was hand done? A computer didn't do this? And you're like, no, this is old school painting.
Yeah, man. It's also cool too to have on your table something for everyone where like I have items for like $20 and going up to original art that's like 2,500 or whatever. So you can, if someone can't buy art, they can still walk away with a print or a comic book or something that they're taking your work with them either way. And everything I do, I'll sign and doodle on if people are buying it straight from me at my table. So you kind of have to think in terms of like being all inclusive with people's financial situation.
Yeah. In fact, that's one of the big reasons I typically would be doing paintings for New York bigger, and with the economy being so uncertain right now, and I don't want to like I have covers for people who want to spend that kind of money, but I want to make sure I have something at a lower price point for people who want a piece of art but don't want to drop like $4 or $5 grand on a cover. So that's why I started doing this size.
Well, that's a wise approach. We've certainly seen a lot more conservative comic art buyers the last 12 months or whatever. It's just it is what it is, right? I mean,
Exactly.
you got to cater to everybody. We've done pretty well with promoting sketch cards as options for people, and and trying to encourage just some, pick up a 9x12. You can't always pick up an original, published piece of art, but if you want to keep, picking up artwork, as collecting art is, it's like a drug, right? Once you get started, you can't stop. So you always, I mean, I haven't opened a piece of art here in the office, that I bought for myself in over 3 weeks now. I mean, I'm surprised I'm not shaking,
Wow.
Withdrawals.
Withdrawals.
Right, exactly, man. And, so, I should start to, combing the internet for some sketch cards and things I could pick up. Cause I mean, it is what it is. I put my kids through college. I got one more to go. She's going to art school and stuff in Orlando, and sometimes the art buying gets set back, pushed aside just a little bit. But no, that's definitely the smart way to go. This is coming out. I'm loving this painting though, man. I mean, I know you're still far from it. But
I mean, you can see like now that I'm bringing the yellow up into here, that underglow is starting to catch. And then I'm going to do this really light, almost white blue on the inside here, and here it's going to light up, and then probably make little lightning streaks coming off of that too.
It's gorgeous, man. Really,
Thank you,
really good.
brother.
So, dude, do you add black line at the end of all this as the last
That's
stage?
the idea. I am going to do that, but I'm also like kind of like I've never been able to do a painting without line work, and this is almost working completely without it.
I know.
So this technique is teaching me like how to paint better. I am going to put a black line on it, but I'm not going to add as much inking as I thought. But like on the Doom piece, I'm excited about like in the dark areas, I'm going to do some like nib, like taupey style shading just to add a little darkness to it, but at the same time, not make it flat black and give it some like interesting mark making to look at, which I think with the painting technique will look pretty interesting.
Oh yeah.
But like I
Yeah,
won't ink in any of this. I'll just ink in Doom. Like the big thing is the black shadow on the hand will really bring that forward and make this light up even more. So I think that'll be cool.
Okay,
But
that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I have said to myself, like, especially with the Godzilla, I'm like, should I ink it? And I think I will, but I don't know. I've never had a painting where I was like, oh, I don't have to ink it. It's always like I need that line or it's gonna fall apart. But
Right.
now it's like,
yeah, you never know. I love it on both these pieces, you know that you're really considering the lighting. Both have a dramatic lighting source, right? I mean, clearly, you didn't have to draw Doom with that, but you got the Kirby crackle in there and it's uplighting. Godzilla's kind of got the same effect going here.
I realized for me, my paintings work so much better if the first decision I make is what's the light source, and make the piece about the light source. Like for Godzilla, to make this like under fire is what's making this piece so dramatic, and not just a green Godzilla, but all of these oranges mixed in with the green. So I think that was the success of it, because I originally thumbnailed, I think it's right over here. I was going to do this Hulk.
Oh, that's a great
composition. Which I think it's a fun shape, but I was like, it just didn't have that final oomph of me understanding what the lighting was going to be. I could have figured it out around this, but then I quickly, in like 2 minutes, thumbnailed that Doom. And that one was like, oh, I see what this piece is about. It's about the hand. Like the Hulk piece was like, yeah, that's a cool looking shape, but I don't know what this piece is like about. So for me, figuring out that lighting really gives me a purpose with what I'm doing.
I think if the tree would have been on fire at the top and you had this red over his shoulder.
I like that idea. All right, so maybe I'll have to do that, because I love the shape. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, no, exactly. The composition's amazing on that one.
Yeah. Dude, Immortal Hulk on fire. Yeah, that's a whole think about it.
You guys got me thinking. Metal. I might have to do that for OAX. I might have to do that, bring that one to life for OAX.
I like it.
Maybe 9x12, a little bigger.
That's so awesome. Yeah, looking fantastic, man.
Thank you. I'm gonna add.
Oh, Bill, I was gonna ask you, when you're buying original art, are you usually commissioning artists, or are you out there online looking at older pieces and things that you have like your dream wish list or whatever?
I'd say, I started out more as a commission collector, convention sketch collector, and I've in the last 10 years moved more to buying published stuff. So I'm just trying to get great examples of artists I like. But I participate in the mystery sketch. I buy 5, at least 5 every time we go through that. So I love getting commissions. Every OAX I think I've at least booked 5 to 7 pre-OAX commissions to pick up at the show. So and OAX is kind of, and the mystery sketch has kind of brought me back to commission collecting. But do I do it? I can't say that I don't, but let's say the last couple of Heroes Cons, I have picked up pre-done pieces from artists at both of those shows, or in one case commissioned an artist to do a piece that I got about 6 months after the show. So yeah, I'm still a bit of a mix, but I'd say the money spent definitely goes more towards the published pages these days, just because of where the market is, right? I mean, you can't even buy an old Gene Colan Iron Man pencil sketch, for spending $800 or something like that. So even the vintage commission or sketch style pieces are pretty expensive these days.
Wow. Yeah. It's crazy how it all works. It's very interesting to study,
Yeah.
But I'll tell you the thing that I find, really it's not refreshing, but I enjoy seeing it, is that commissions and convention sketch pricing has increased a great deal over the last, say
Yeah.
6 to 8 years, where you'll see a commission costing more than a published page. And I think, artists probably know that, at the end of the day, they've been paid once for the page, so that, a page might sell for $500. But if you're going to commission an artist for an 11 by 17, buyers are used to spending, $750 to $1,500 for something like that. So, an artist is able to get, 2, 3, 4 times what they would get for a published 11 by 17, which they would get for a commission with modest backgrounds on a single character, for doing the same amount of work but a little bit more fun. So I like that. I feel like the people who commission artists have got see the value in getting something personal, and see the value in the creators that they're taking the opportunity to commission. You're giving of your time to do that too. And because it really wasn't like that 25 years ago when I started collecting. Convention sketches were practically free. You go to San Diego and get something for $25. And published pages were really high, and it's really flip-flopped over that time period. And I think that's wonderful. I mean, I think it's great for the artists and creators, and any artist who was maybe on the fence about wanting to become a comic book illustrator 20 years ago, I'm sure they have to be looking at the market today and saying, I can make my way, even if I have to start from the indie scene and work my way up, into a bigger publisher or something. I think there's a lot of, it's not necessarily hope, but there's an opportunity there that, if you're willing to hustle, and you're good, you can really do well. So I don't know. I mean, that's the way I look at the market today. But I could never have predicted that 25 years ago. I just thought sketches and commissions were always going to be kind of, always going to be the ugly duckling of, comic art collecting. But it's not. It's very much shifted, and I love it. I mean, I love being a part of it. Running OAX, we get to see all the artwork that's created because of the show. You feel like you're playing a role in it. The sketches from the Comic Art Live events that we've been doing since the pandemic, it's awesome, man. It's been the most fun the last 6 years doing these things, because you're playing a part in all of this and getting artwork out into the world, and that's the most important thing. I think
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I love what you guys do.
Well said. Yeah, that's great. I remember seeing the transition beginning to happen when because like I said, we went from doing the sharper marker drawings on backing boards at conventions. I would always share a table with Scott Morse at San Diego. And there was a year in the early 2000s when Scott brought, like the size of a board that Shawn's working on now, he brought like little illustration boards and was doing $100 painted pieces. Jeez, and everyone was like, whoa, $100, it's $100 now for a commission. And I was like, damn, dude. And he would just line them up and lay down all the colors at once, like all the yellows, and he
That's amazing.
Crushed it. But it was like, okay, now we're doing $100 commissions. And then being at Heroes Con or Seattle one year, and everyone starting to talk about, like, Daniel Warren and James Herron started using Zipatone in their commissions. And, I was like, I use Zipatone. Like, what's the big deal? What these guys are doing? And then I saw what they were doing, and they're doing, like, Daniel was doing Star Wars commissions with like an X-Wing fighter flying through space on fire with Luke Skywalker like jumping out or something. Crazy levels of detail, and they elevated it. And then seeing like Eric Canetti and Matteo Scalera, right when I was meeting those guys, it was like, okay, now commissions are being, this is now illustration. This isn't, because what we called commission was the $25 Sharpie drawing. For me, I'm like, these are full-blown illustrations now. These are publishable. Like this could be a cover of a book or a magazine or something. So to see it elevate to the level it's at now, it's like, it's crazy what people are doing. It's wild.
It is. And you see a lot of the artists who are taking these commissions seriously. A lot of times those commissions become covers or pinups in books, and And I think that the artists see that, you know, it's an extra opportunity, right? If you're gonna, if somebody's commissioning you to do a $3,000, you know, full background piece, you might as well, you know, at least float it to the publisher when you're done, just to see what might happen.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
many times it does get published, then, you know, the commissioner is really happy because they just got a cover, and the artist gets, you know, the reproduction rights and everything based on, you know, doing that work. And we're seeing that happen more and more as well. I saw some questions in the chat. Where was it? Steve asked a question about, do we see more commissions being added to CAF lately? I don't know. That's an interesting question. We could actually run an easy report to find out, because, you know, we have that, there's a drop menu when you add a piece, whether it's published or unpublished. And I definitely could chart that over the last 10 years and see. I mean, I'm kind of curious. I actually want to know what the chart is.
Yeah, I'd be curious too.
Yeah, exactly. But even I would have to think commissions are on the rise, even if they don't dominate, you know, the published pieces. But yeah, so that data is out there. You know, we just have to run a query. I'll talk to my wife. She handles all the heavy lifting on stuff like that.
Yes.
What was the other thing in there? Murdoch mentioned, it feels like it's easier to get commissions now. Artists using their own websites, comic art fans, whatnot. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot more opportunity for artists to do that.
Yeah, it's like you can just directly reach out to artists now. I mean, it's
awesome.
You know, and the ability to chat with everybody. We didn't have that when we were starting out. Like I couldn't DM like Art Adams or whoever, you know what I mean? It's like that was not an option for us. You had to like work up the courage to talk to someone at a convention, or maybe you see them at the after party at San Diego or something. And, you know,
right. Bill, let's remind everyone there's a free raffle going on to get in on.
There is. The hashtag is on the screen, hashtag Inkpulp. You type that into the chat, hit enter, you will be entered into the giveaway. We have 38 people entered into that right now. We have
nice.
60 people watching right now. So 22 awesome. Of you at minimum have not done this yet. So please go ahead and do that. And we also do have a sale going on over at the Essential Sequential website for Shawn's artwork. And let me get the link to Shawn's page over there and put that in the chat. There's that. And then remind everybody what the promo code is there. So if you find anything on the site that you want from Shawn, there's, I think, around 300 pieces up there. When you're in the checkout, put the promo code Inkpulp20 in there, and you will get 20% off your order. And it's only good through tomorrow. So those of you who are watching the show on the rewind right now, you have until tomorrow morning to get your orders in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's
anyone who wants a commission like this for OAX.
That's right. Let me get that link in the chat again too. I did put it in there earlier, but where is it? I got too many tabs open right now. Where are
a lot of stuff.
All right. We made our, we used to have that oa-expo.com domain, and we've made it much easier now. It's oax.art to get to the website.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we're shortening things and making it more direct. Everybody knows. Even so we've been trying to. Well, here, okay, I got the link. Finally, I found the right tab. There we go. That is the link to Shawn's pre-OAX commission op. He's doing only 5 6x8 color pieces at $750. You pick the character, and Shawn will give you a piece with the same amount of care and detail that he's putting into this Godzilla right now.
Yeah, which is a lot.
Beautiful.
It's a slower
so you're gonna become like the next Simon Bisley, but late 80s, early 90s Bisley.
Oh,
the
if
peak
only,
Bisley.
Jim. If only.
We're gonna need to get you like a leather motorcycle jacket.
Okay, I'll wear it. Although I showed Jim, I have a jean jacket that I'm covering with patches from all the stuff like the Inkpulp crew is doing. So I've got my cyan patch, which everyone who got in on my Kickstarter gets a free one. It was a stretch goal, and then I've got Jim's Savage Street Vigilante patch on it. So I'm gonna wear that in New York.
Yes. Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, and you can see like lighting up this fin now.
That's awesome, man.
These areas, yeah, that light's
Wow.
starting to work.
And Bill and guys, if you requested a commission from me from when I was on the show Thursday, I did respond to all those today through email and said yes to everyone and said, here's how and when you pay me for those commissions. So that like the list has been responded to. So I'm in good shape with what I'm doing for OAX.
Yeah, we've been very happy with the response so far. For those of you going to OAX or not aware of what OAX is, you can head over to oax.art to there's a nice video that plays, that gives you a flavor for the show. It's a very relaxed yet exciting 3-day show. Now we have a preview night, so it goes from Friday through Sunday, February 20th through the 22nd. It's our third show. There will be more there'll be more than 80 artists. And at least, probably 35 to 40 exhibitors, whether they're art dealers, art reps, auction houses. There'll be more artwork on the floor than at any show I think you'll ever get to go to. And it's limited. We definitely are not going to sell more than 1,000 tickets for attendees. So that you're going to have a lot of time to hang out with the artists, fellow collectors. I always tell everybody, no matter who you turn to on the floor, they're a friend. You've got something in common with, because you love the arts, and that's what the show is all about. So feel free to hit up the website. If you can email us if you have any questions about it. But there's a pre-OAX page there for any artist that's taking commissions in advance of the show. We started that list about a month ago. I believe there's probably 16 to 20 artists maybe on there right now. Some have already sold out, so it's a good opportunity. Yeah, awesome. Some people, some people that had shorter, they could only take 5 total, right? And we opened the list and it was gone in before the end of the show. But it's fun because all these artists get to do work in advance of the show. They come to the show rather relaxed. They've already made their money, and beforehand, and it's like, and then they get to interact with the attendees and their peers.
I wish all shows were like OAX. It's a very fun show to do, and it doesn't wear you out.
Oh yeah, and Frank, we do sell tickets at the door as well. So, and as long as we don't sell out, no problem there. VIP tickets, we only have 400 available. So, that would be something if you wanted to come and be there for preview night and the reception and all the other events surrounding Friday, of which there's probably going to be a lot. I think over the next month or so, you're going to hear more and more announcements about things that are happening on Friday, not just those 2 events that you're aware of, but even more. Some are community driven. Like if for those of you who went on the Bub Crawl last year, I can guarantee you that the Bub Crawl will return in a different flavor, and that's run by Rob Gomez, Wolby fan. I've heard that Adam Kubert is once again drawing the logo for the T-shirt that will be made for Bub Crawl. So that's always cool. And he's even going to have some variants this time around. But we're definitely encouraging the community to come up with fun ideas as well, just to make the show all that more, fun for everybody. At the end of the day, that's what it should be about. We're collectors too. And, we know that there's always a good idea out there that's worth listening to. And if we can wrap that into the show and encourage, collectors to kind of do their own thing, that just makes the show all the more special.
Now, Bub Crawl, that's a Wolverine themed pub crawl where you drink Canadian beer and get into fights with people at the bar?
There was no fighting going on.
Okay.
But yeah, it was last year it was kind of cold, so we did walk, and we walked over. We started at Hooters, which was the longest walk, and then worked our way back to Miller's Ale House. So yeah, it was good though. There was over 40 people that went on it, and it was a good way to kind of the night before the opening of the show. So it was Friday evening when we did that, and we didn't print up enough T-shirts, so we had to go back and run a second run because so many people came out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Wild.
And it wasn't like there was a cover or anything like that. You know, you just showed up, bought your beers, made the the restaurants and the bars happy, and we went on our way. So we're working with Rob again on what he would what we're going to do, what places we're going to go, and depending on where it's at, we might look into some kind of transportation. Who knows? But end of the day, Bub Crawl will return as a featured event of the show. I mean, and then where else can you do that? Unless you just organize it with friends. At New York Comic Con, right? I mean, this was like Rob was like, man, I want to do a Bub Crawl, and it was in the chat. The chat, it just happened naturally, and was like, yeah, that's a freaking great idea. Let's do it.
That's awesome, man. That's good bonding time for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, that's when you've got a good community, when people just have ideas, you put them to work, and everyone enjoys it. That's all good stuff.
Was there cigar smoking involved, like after the last bar when people had a buzz on? It's
I'm certain there was. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I didn't make it to Miller's. I was so tired at that point. I ended up knowing that I had to get up early on Saturday. I had to be good. So I did not make it to the end. I started it, but I finished early. So, but I'm sure, that there was cigars and other things being drank as they wrapped up that evening.
Yes. You got to do it.
Alberta,
you got to enjoy that bonding time when you're with the homies at conventions.
Exactly. Alberto says he didn't get a t-shirt last year. We'll work that out, Alberto. When we're printing up this year 2 set, we'll make sure that we print a vintage year 1 for you as well. And those were actually screen printed, Shawn. This place that we got the shirts printed at, like the regular OAX ones had too much color, so they had to do like a transfer for that. But the Bub Crawl one,
I remember this. I spoke to
Rob
about that. I remember that exact story.
Yeah, so at least and they're local, so it's good that we're giving some money to a local shop that was doing that for us. But yeah, it's gonna be fun because I heard Aranga's doing one of the shirts. So
nice.
Maybe you might get the scoop on that since he's coming to you for a tattoo.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll ask him about it for sure.
Sure. Shawn, West Coast Dave is asking about the Godzilla piece you're currently working on.
Yeah, it's available.
That's available.
Yeah, it's available. Yeah, the Godzilla and the Doom are both available at $750. Here's the Doom for those people.
Yes,
beautiful.
Apologies, everybody. Haven't been looking at the chat as closely as I should have. But yeah, both of these are available. They're going to be $750, the same price as the OAX opportunity that Shawn's offering. And clearly, there's a little bit more work to be done. I'm kind of curious, what are you taking this right out of the bottle, Shawn, or do you have a
no? So I'll show you.
Beside you?
Yeah, let me show you. So I've got this palette where I squirt about a 1/4 tablespoon of water into a cup, and then I add the paint. And now that I'm getting towards the end of the painting where I want the paint to be a little more opaque, I'm adding more and more paint, and I'm realizing next time I want to add less water. But it's allowing, like you can see the white, like these light blues really building up now. And when I get it down into the corner of the mouth here, it's going to really light up that area. But yeah, so it's like you're using washes really thin at the beginning, and then the washes are getting thicker towards the end.
Yep.
And I'm
sorry about that, Dave. I want Dave to know he was not being ignored. I was on the wrong tab. I was on the banners tab where I was showing off all the hashtags, and I didn't switch it back over to the chat tab. So that's on me, man. But he has claimed the Godzilla.
Oh, awesome! All right, Dave, you rock.
Dave is,
I'm surprised Dave brought up the Godzilla piece. That's so unlike him.
Yeah. That's He's gonna. I'll be in Seattle next month, and I'm gonna actually see his original art collection. So we'll see everything I'm sure it's like a crazy, super impressive collection of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Are you going to get on a live stream where he's selling some books and stuff too? That might be fun.
I'm not sure. I'm only going to be there for one day, and then him and I are jumping on a plane and flying to Japan.
Wow.
So we're doing like a 3-week Manga Quest in Japan, and I'm going to be a guest at Tokyo Comic-Con in early December. And we're meeting some other friends over there in Japan, but this is kind of my one-time vacation. And I turned 50 earlier this year, so this is my birthday gift to myself, is getting out and going to Japan to hang out for 3 weeks. So
I'm jealous.
That's what I'm doing. And when you turn 50, everyone asks, like, what are you going to do? What are you doing? What are you doing? And it was March, and Shawn was out here, and we did the Planet Comic-Con here in Kansas City. And it was cool. Everybody hung out, and I didn't really do much on my actual birthday. So, but I was like, I'm going to end the year and treat myself to a Japan trip. So instead of flying there and taking 17 hours from here, I'm doing a direct flight to Dave, hanging out for 1 day, and then doing a direct flight from Seattle to Tokyo, which is like 11 hours. So I can break up. I can't fly for 17 hours straight. Like, it just,
oh, dude, who can? That's brutal.
I did, Shawn, I did Greece this year, the pop culture festival in Athens. Unbelievable show. But they flew me out, and it was 3 flights to get there and 3 flights to come home. And I was destroyed from that, man. Like, so
dude, the worst for me was flying home from that Abu Dhabi show, where it was 15-hour flight from Abu Dhabi to New York, and then I had a 4-hour layover, and then a 2-hour flight back to Atlanta. I was so fucking over it.
Yeah.
And that was after we got stuck in Abu Dhabi. My original flight, they wouldn't let me on. So we were stuck in Abu Dhabi for another day.
Yeah.
Was that a good show?
So that is not the show that people hear about when they hear about the Abu Dhabi Con. This was a special government sponsored event, which its goal was to educate the public of Abu Dhabi on comics, comic art. And so they flew out, I think it was 60 artists from around the world, and put us in a hotel for a week with all our meals covered. And the show was only like 2 days. And the goal of the show was, I mean, you could sell things, but that's not, people weren't there to buy things. The goal was like people to ask questions about, how did you do this? And you to like, we all gave workshops. But what happened was 60 artists, like in a hotel for a week, we made these amazing bonds with artists from around the world. And it was really one of those rare trips where like something magic was happening, just spending all this time with everyone. And they took us on a desert safari, and it was incredible. It was just really one of the most amazing experiences of my life doing that show. Like,
you guys rode on camels.
There's a picture of Matteo and I on a camel. Like we were in the desert. I mean, we had an amazing trip, and we made a lot of life. This was not last December, the December before that.
Wow.
Yeah, 2023.
I somehow missed the news on that one, but boy.
Well, there wasn't really news on it. I was just like.
Well, I just would have thought, I would have seen it on your, I would have seen so many artists posting about it that I would have, thought, what the hell is this thing going on that I don't know anything about?
They took us on a desert safari, and we were going dune bashing. I don't know what dune bashing is. None of us knew what dune bashing is. So we're driving out to the desert in these 4Runners, and we're just having fun. It's Matteo, me, Ramon Perez, Michael Scalera was in the car with us. Pernille Olam was in the car with us, and Kevin Rodatelli. And we stopped to look at this camel farm, and I look back, and they're like letting air out of the tires. I'm like, what's going on? And Matteo and I are in the very, very, very far back of the car, so we can't see anything out the front. And all I know is we're picking up tremendous amounts of speed when we're back in the desert. And the next thing I know, we are going over the edge of a sand mountain, and flying down the other side, like on the side, like the car turned to the side, and Matteo and I were screaming like little kids, like half out of fear, but also out of absolute joy, and we were cracking up hysterically. I filmed it, and I made a whole reel about it. And after we did about 3 or 4 of them, Matteo and I were just in the back going like, "What the fuck is happening?" And after about 3 or 4 of them, because we were the first car, so we couldn't even see cars in front of us doing it. So we finally got to a place where it leveled out, and I look behind me, and I can see all the other forerunners doing what we just did, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is horrifying to see." But it was amazing. So I did put up a reel about that. I have lots of footage of Matteo and I screaming in the back seat, losing our
I'll have
minds.
to look them up. I mean, I hope you were wearing helmets and you had
No,
your seatbelt on.
nothing.
Nothing.
We had no idea this was happening. Like if they had put a helmet on me, I would have been
I want
prepared.
my favorite comic artists to be participating in. We will
No,
not have
well-
an event like this at OAX. I can tell you that. Right.
When we were done, we all were like,
Jet
"Was that
skis in the
safe?"
in the Everglades is what we'll do here.
Yeah. We were very
Right,
aware that
right.
this is not something you could do in the States. Like this would not happen.
Mm-mm.
But it was amazing. And then it stopped, and there was a whole encampment in the middle of the desert where they did they had all these like little shops. They had like a little hookah area. They had camels there. They had those little like 4-runner buggy things, like 4-wheelers you could ride in the dunes with, and all kinds of stuff. And then they served us this really nice like shish kebab barbecue meal while belly dancers were dancing on the stage in the middle of the desert.
Well,
And then it was
Come on.
just
sounded better and
insane.
better. Yeah.
It was amazing. And then they ask everyone, like at the end, they're like, "Okay, we're gonna turn off the lights just for a few minutes so you guys can appreciate the like stars." And they had a little hookah area. So Matteo and I walked over to the hookah area with some of the Spanish artists, and we're smoking a hookah, and they turn the lights off, and you look up, it's like you're in a planetarium. It's just little dots everywhere. I've never been, because you're in the middle of the desert. There's no ambient light anywhere, and it was amazing.
Unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, that was
Are
incredible.
they still doing that show, or was that sort of the first?
Well,
and
that was
last?
they only did it once, and then the idea is they're going to bring it back. So the chancellor of arts, culture, and tourism out there is a huge comic book fan, and he started a company called Sandstorm Comics out there, and like Kim Jacinto works for them. So this was like a Sandstorm event. So I've spoken to Momo, who's one of the guys that works at Sandstorm, who helps run this stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna bring it back, but right now last year they sponsored Artist Alley in New York Comic Con, and they're doing it again this year. So they're putting their money into areas that will promote the company a little better, and then they're going to come back to doing that show."
Wow, sounds
I
amazing.
wanna
And
get a
they
press pass
also
for that
they invited all
Yeah,
of us
yeah.
back. We had such an amazing time. At the end of the show, they're like, "We want to extend you all and invite back the next time we do it."
Okay, I'm ready. Bill's ready. Get Kasra out there.
Yeah, you guys, it's an experience. And then
I'm gonna get
all
a
the
GoPro.
artists,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely get
and wear a
that.
helmet though. That's gonna be my requirement.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Jason got really nauseous doing it. Like we all got out of the car, looked back. Jason was just green as can be.
Oh damn, man. Yeah.
But Pernille started this exquisite corpse thing where she folded a piece of paper in 3s, and the top was the head, the middle was the torso, and the bottom was the legs, and had every artist there draw a section, not knowing what was on the rest of the paper. And the last night there, all the artists, like we made a reservation at the hotel restaurant for all 60 artists to be there. And Matteo, Ramon, and I just kind of organized this, and we revealed every piece, and it was
Oh, wow.
amazing. Like I think I was on the same one as David Finch, and I mean, I went pretty foul with mine. Matteo went pretty foul with his. Some people were really tame, but It was a lot of fun. It was really a lot
These
of
didn't
fun.
see the light of day anywhere, right? I don't remember seeing any of those on CAF.
I think no, nobody sold them. Pernille has all of them still.
Okay.
I think she posted them. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure she posted all of them.
I'll look
They're
it up.
amazing. It was amazing, but that was the kind of bonding that was happening.
Awesome. Yeah. Hey, Shawn, I got to bounce. My brother's in town. I need to go meet up with
Okay.
him.
All right,
And
cool,
His
cool.
band is performing tonight.
Yeah, have so
thank
much
you
fun,
guys.
bro. I wish I was there.
Yeah, I'm excited. My little brother is a DJ in a Beastie Boys tribute band called My Posse in Effect. So if they're coming to a town near you, go see them. They're amazing. Bill, thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me pop in, man. I appreciate
it's
it.
good to have you back. I put the link to your Kickstarter once again in the chat for everybody who's curious about supporting the Arachnid Enforcer. And
Thank you.
yeah, man. Again, good having you here, and happy to do anything I can to promote the Kickstarter and your Pre-OAX booking. So
awesome. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Shawn, you're crushing that piece, dude. I'll talk to you real soon.
Bro.
Looks
thanks,
beautiful.
Bro. Yeah. Have fun tonight. Tell everyone I said hi.
I will. See you guys.
See you, Jim.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, you are crushing that piece. That is great, Dave.
Oh, thank you.
David has chosen wisely on this one. It was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. In fact, I'll be done with the painting portion of this pretty damn soon. And then
Let's go full screen one more time here.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm lighting up that corner of his mouth a bit. Trying to get some Kirby crackle in the lighting here. So yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. I have to go look at the old Godzilla comics to see if Trimpy ever slipped in some Kirby crackle. I mean, he probably did.
I would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine so, right?
You'd almost have to. I actually have a Godzilla page, an end page to, like, I don't even know what issue. Yeah, where it's an end page and he's going into the ocean, so it's like, slowly, just where you see the top of his head and then he's gone. And it's got some Shield agents on it. I think Dum Dum and Nick Fury's on it or something. But
nice. That's great.
But there's no Kirby crackle on my page. I know that.
Yeah, I would imagine there's some in there. I do tend to think of, like, it's a perfect match, Kirby Crackle and Godzilla.
Hell yeah. So why don't you show the Dr. Doom one more time, just because this one, West Coast Dave got the Godzilla.
Yeah.
This one's going to be, still in the works, probably about halfway through it, but an awesome Doc Doom. This one's available for $750 as well. Yeah,
so I'm going to be doing exactly what you're seeing here. I'd say this is about 70-80% there.
Oh, sweet.
So I just got I got to bring the light into it a little more, like what I've done on the show here today. I was planning on hitting both. Oh, also, I guess I'll show this. I started for New York Comic-Con a painted sketch cover of the Joker.
Awesome.
So I got some work to do on that, but I thought it'd be fun to paint on this tinted paper, see what that was like. So that's been fun. But yeah, I'm just wrapping up on Godzilla. How late does this show? How long is this stream usually, Bill? Or do you guys not have a set time?
Well, we generally don't have a set time. I was going to say we're probably at a point where we could start winding it down. I wanted to remind everybody about the giveaway one last time. Let me throw that up here. Right there. If you type in hashtag Inkpulp into the chat, hit enter, you will be entered into the giveaway for the Wu-Tang Clan Steranko Hulk cover homage poster. Yes. And that you will get. You can pick it up either at New York Comic-Con or Shawn will get it to you. But if you don't enter, you can't win.
Exactly. And that's a $50 poster for those who want to buy it if you don't win it.
Exactly. And one last question. Sheldon asked if you can turn these artworks into stickers.
I think of I've had people ask that before. I think of stickers very differently. I think of stickers as something that's not just a piece of art. Like, this is a painting. I think of a sticker more logo-like, like something a little more graphic designy. I mean, I could make stickers of this. I just don't think they'd look great. I could take the Godzilla, like if I was going to make a sticker of it, I wouldn't just have it like a square. I like die cut stickers, so I'd have to figure out like what else I'd do around it. And
Yeah,
I'd
because
probably
the
color that.
negative space around the spines on his back might be cool, or even just
Yeah,
partially.
totally.
And yeah,
Yeah.
what was this?
Okay,
Frank Cairo wanted to know, what is it like painting on that comic cover paper, because it was toned and it looked a little slicker.
Yeah, I mean, it's crummy. Like it's not great. I mean, I'll make it work, but it's not like this.
Yeah.
But this is more for people who like to collect these sort of things. I don't like working on this stuff, but I know people like to buy it and collect it. So I'm always trying to see. But I mean, this stuff is pretty flimsy and not holding up to the water, to the wetness as well as I would have liked. And the paint doesn't spread on it as easily as like this. But it'll look good in the end. It's a little fussy to work on, is like how I'd put it.
Okay. Well, we've given everybody their reminder about the hashtag Inkpulp. So I think we can probably go ahead and do the giveaway. We have 63 people watching now. 50 people have entered. So most people in the chat probably have, but some of you haven't. And that's okay. You don't get the chance to win the print. So I'm going to do the drawing right now.
Sounds good.
Let's see here. Lots of familiar names flashing by.
Let me put
and Jewish Dragons, Ian.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. Awesome. Congrats, Ian.
I feel, I don't remember, but I feel like Jewish Dragons might have won the free sketch card on the last stream.
Is that possible?
Is it or maybe the person who won it wanted to send it to him? I don't remember. Something's triggering a memory.
He's a good guy. He's gifted me a few things over the years, so couldn't have gone to a nice person. I don't know if he's going to be at New York Comic Con or not, but he can email you at
email me at inkpulp@gmail.com, and we will figure out the best way to get it to you for sure. And yes, that's right. It is a great way to start the Jewish New Year by winning a nice Wu-Tang print.
Exactly. Steve Mussolino, nice. Well, congrats to Jewish Dragons on that one. Let me go hide that screen, and I can remove the reminder on the giveaway and just do one last. This is a discount code, 20% off over at Essential Sequential for all of Shawn's artwork there. Inkpulp 20 is the promo code. It's good through tomorrow morning. So if you want to head over to Essential Sequential, find a piece of art that Shawn's got up there, and you can get a 20% discount on it by purchasing it. You can get, I'm sure, Jason would be happy to deliver it at New York Comic Con, which is next week for those of you who are going.
Totally.
And hey, can I plug my one thing? Well, that it's not really my thing, but I might
plug
as well
away.
Plug it. Here you go. Yeah. I'll take this off the screen. So next week, Friday on the 10th at New York Comic Con, some of these people in the photograph will be there. Most won't. I won't be there, but Kazra will be there, and other CAF team members will be there as well. DeTulio, Sardo, Colin Solon will be there. So we have a noon group photo. So Shawn, if you're near booths K40 and 50 on
Is this
Friday
in Artist Alley?
Yeah,
on Friday.
Yeah,
okay.
Head over, please.
They're
going to do a group
I will.
Yep.
I would love to. And let me say also, to the CAF community, we're going to do an Inkpulp photo Saturday at 3 at Matteo and I's table at D24, D25. And also, I should say that this is the first con ever where the entire Inkpulp team, except for Jamie, will be together. Where Eric's going to be there. Eric's making a last minute decision yesterday to come to New York Comic Con. So Eric, Jim, Matteo, and I will all be there. So please come by our table on Saturday for a photo shoot.
Perfect. This is it's a big kind of a social melting pot at New York Comic Con this time around. And so after the photo op, though, they are doing a meetup at Gabby O'Hara's. It's kind of it's an Irish pub. Food's modest. I'm sure the drinks are great, and that'll be an 8 p.m. start time for those who can make it over to there as well. what else? I see Stingray's asking about a Baltimore meetup. You know, I know that Tatiana and Sardo are going to be at Baltimore, and they're planning something, but I don't believe I haven't got any details on it. There will be something, whether it's during the show or after the show. As soon as I have information, I'll be happy to let everybody know what, when, and where that's going to happen. But Shawn, fun as always, man. I mean, you know,
Thank you.
I appreciate you know, getting to hang out with you for a few hours here today, and it
Yeah,
works
always
great.
have fun.
Looking forward to having you back at OAX, having the Inkpulp
Definitely.
team there with Jamie.
Yes, yes, that will be the first con and probably the only con where the entire Inkpulp team will be there. So we're very much looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, everybody, we appreciate you hanging out with us on a Saturday afternoon, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll be back at it again next week. And if you're going to New York Comic Con, be sure to swing by, you know, both Shawn's table and Scalera's, and everybody that you regularly see here on the channel, man. Support every artist that you know at that show. And all right, I'm tuning it out. But again, thanks everybody. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.